These my dads make it hurt. These my dads make it hurt.
And very good evening, everybody. Welcome along. It's Monday night. It's a little bit after 9 o'clock because, as usual, we're late. If you're watching along live and enjoying the video, my computer is having, well, it's having a Monday, I think is the best way to put it. So, yes, it's super janky and I'm lagging all over the place. Jason looks to be okay. The stream quality,
woo!
Yay! Stream quality looks to be okay. So, yeah, if you're watching along live, please excuse me as it appears like I'm streaming from a Nokia 3210 tonight, but you're very welcome along. We are live in our usual location, so we're live here on Twitch at twitch.tv/teaandtopps. We're also live on the teaandtopps Facebook page. We're sharing it to Shutout Sports Cards tonight, and we're also live on our YouTube channel.
Is there any chance we get a theme song in 8-bit stereo?
Yeah. Dude, it feels a bit like that tonight, I swear to God. And welcome along. Jason, how are we doing tonight?
Awesome. It was my birthday last week, and I gotta say that's probably one of the best birthdays I've had in a long time there. And I'll probably go into details about it later. But yes, so it's my birthday's on my over, and now it's your birthday's upcoming.
My birthday is upcoming. My birthday is Thursday, so yeah, another year older and deeper in debt, as they say.
So you know what was really funny? I went and bought matches because we needed matches in the house. And the storekeeper asked if I was over 18 if I needed my matches. I was like, you made my day.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, that's amazing.
Like, no one's asked for ID in like 20 years, and you just asked me for matches if I had ID.
Whenever I go in there buying booze, like I'm praying to be ID'd, you know, but it's like, oh no, this guy's homeless. He's fine.
Yeah, it was a funny one. I said, "Excuse me." I was like, "Are you over 18?" They're like, "Yeah." Thank you for asking.
Yeah, my first kid's getting there, but thanks. Yeah. So what we're going to talk about? There's not really anything to talk about this week, right?
Oh man, we're going to find a lot of filler there. Exciting news for us. Teaandtopps obviously won the F. competition for 5 Yankee cards.
Yay! Look at us. We're famous now.
We're famous. That was a pretty cool thing out there. They're on their way. I've got the notification out there. So we're taking one each, and we'll be giving some stuff out there, which we're talking about. Also, I got a great birthday present. Gregory Siff followed me on Twitter, so I'm feeling pretty smug about that. So, you know, now once we get Aug's party, we'll be sorted. And Snoop's on the way.
Snoop's on the way. Love it. So you're officially friend of Project 70 artists now.
Exactly. Anything else exciting happened over the weekend? I can't remember much. It was my birthday, so I didn't pay much attention.
Not paying much attention. No. It was like a little thing, I'm sure. Something about eBay, and then, oh yeah, the whole fucking world got turned upside down. What the hell?
Oh my gosh! Out of nowhere.
So, amongst other things, we now have a podcast to rebrand, which is going to be great. So, send your suggestions on a postcard.
Well, we could always go with Fanatics, obviously, like stellar customer service and be fucked up Fanatics, you know.
Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, French martinis and Fanatics. That was like that was the only drink starting with an F that I could think of when put under pressure.
Oh man, yeah.
So yeah, here we go. Then that's, I guess, the biggest news of the week. After 70 years, it's been announced that MLB and the MLB Players Association have entered into agreement with a company that's going to be formed by Fanatics, I believe, to use the proper parlance from the press release. And Fanatics is going to be taking over the license for baseball cards.
So not only that, announced earlier today, and football card, NBA cards.
Yeah.
So doing the research, I asked a couple of people in the industry, got kind of their opinions on there. So obviously, Topps is still doing the cards till 2025. That's when their deal runs out there. So everyone was like, well, what are they going to do for the next couple of years? Topps is doing that.
Business as usual.
Panini deal runs out in 2025 as well too.
Yeah.
And then the NFL's deal runs out in 26.
No,
so you have all three there. So I think we should wait another hour and wait till the NHL gets over.
This is obviously going to be a developing story, and lots of ground to cover on this. So we either sit here for 3 hours tonight, or I mean, there's going to be a lot of things happening with this. We'll cover the kind of highlights of it tonight. For sure. We might save the deep dives on some of the things for future episodes. But yeah, that's the big news. So Fanatics from 2020, so it sort of runs two different ways, right? So from 2023, the deal with MLB starts, so they can start printing in the same style that Panini do right now, so they can use player images, but so the MLB PA deal starts in 2023, so they can start printing the same way that Panini do. So they can use the players' likenesses and names, but they can't use team logos and stuff and team names. And then in 2026, they can go... 2025, they can go full bore and take on both in the traditional manner. So, yeah, it's kind of fun. Huge news, obviously, as the chips are beginning to rain down. It's obviously come out today that Topps had no idea this was going on, and they feel like they've had the rug pulled out from underneath them somewhat.
Completely blindsided. They had no idea what that. Apparently Friday, Michael Eisner spent a good hour yelling at Rob Manfred. It doesn't do you any good. We all do that on Twitter. He's not listening at all. So apparently this has been going on for months. They've been doing all this back channel that way. Obviously, MLB bought into Fanatics at a 15% stake a few years ago and has been secretly buying more and more. And that includes NBA and NFL. So they all have a big stake in Fanatics there and have been slowly getting rid of the middlemen. So that brings more equity to them and the players. So, from their perspective, that's a great deal for them. More revenues because they kind of lost stuff for the last 2 years.
Yeah. I read, just before we came on there, I read that the deal that the players are getting is 10 times better than anything that's been negotiated previously until this point. When you're talking multitudes of 10, then that's a pretty big deal, obviously.
Obviously, but then you're also, I think what the problem is, so they were obviously, Topps was about to go public from, what was that? Mudrick Capital. And they were going to go from there.
Oh, you have taken notes tonight.
I did take notes tonight.
There's no way you're remembering that.
I did that, Mudrick Capital. And there's been, obviously, the Topps didn't go public, and there's been a lot of poo-pooing on Mudrick Capital for not securing that deal before they decided to take Topps public. Obviously, what happens normally is you get to the kind of last year of the contract, and you start negotiating things there. But obviously, Fanatics was just like, well, whatever it is, here's 10 times what you're getting now. Who knows what a Topps could have offered at that point in time. But, obviously, Topps have been making big strides, like the NFT market. We're seeing Bunt get more stuff out there. I guess, we're all kind of going, oh, what's next?
What is next? So, I mean, for Topps, they obviously have licenses outside of MLB, but MLB is probably their biggest and what they're most well known for.
It's not Bazooka Joe?
It's not Bazooka Joe. Although they do have the rights to Bazooka Joe, obviously. So, I mean, if you're into your Topps apps, then obviously they have the Disney license, they have the Marvel license, they have Star Wars, which I imagine is pretty big. They also have emerging sports as well, so they have cricket and they have F1, and obviously we've seen Formula One cards have exploded somewhat this year. They don't have NASCAR, it's Panini that's got NASCAR. So outside of the traditional big three sports, they only ever had one of them, and they've obviously done NBA and they've done NFL in the past, but for the last, well, I don't actually know how long, so I'm not going to guess, but they've been baseball exclusive since Panini picked up the NFL and the NBA, and obviously
that was 2011.
Oh, there you go. You're better. You are well researched tonight.
I did
Holy
the
shit.
research there. It might have been earlier than that, but I think they got the exclusive deal in 2011. Panini, they got rid of Upper Deck in 2011. So.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
I'm trying to be professional.
Yeah,
I need to wear the coat and tie.
Yeah, look at me. All I've done is panic and say swears at my laptop for the last 20 minutes.
You're the tech support.
I am the tech support. I'm doing a terrible job tonight, that's for sure.
But so the one thing we haven't talked about is they've also kind of tried to take over the secondary market.
Yeah, they're looking at some way of adding additional revenue, so it's not just the straight out the gate retail. They're also looking to get some kind of share of the secondary market, which is interesting. Whether that means they're going to come out with an official marketplace similar to something like an eBay. Obviously, eBay at the minute are not flavor of the month, especially with our collecting cousins in North America, because they've recently moved away from PayPal as our payment purchaser. They're now doing direct payments, and it takes people 3 to 5 days to get paid, and they don't like that. They don't like the fact that eBay is hanging on to their money, and they don't have that balance immediately available, although if they understood the system properly, they do actually have it available, but you just can't withdraw it, but you can spend it on eBay. They're not really flavor of the month, so it sounds like there could be some kind of secondary market play going to happen as well. One of the chaps who is involved in this deal and is quite high up in Fanatics, and I've seen his name mentioned in a few articles, owns StockX, so there's history there. Obviously, StockX. I'll let you do a little bit of StockX.
I did.
So I bet you've done your research.
He did. His name is Josh Luber, and he's actually does not work for StockX. He was one of the original founders of StockX.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Stepped down from CEO back in May. So interesting enough, he is a big sports card guy.
Wow, that's interesting time in May. And this deal's been going on for, quote, months.
Yes. So obviously, I think they probably reached out to him and said, hey, look, he made his millions from StockX. I can't remember what they said it was valued at, but it was over $1 billion. So not bad for a company that started up 5 years ago. Made his money there. I think you're going to see a kind of a StockX type secondary market for baseball cards or sports cards over there. So I mean, look at we're in end of August here now. So I mean, this has all been slowly come together for Fanatics there, and probably not a bad thing as well. I mean, who wouldn't want to collect? I mean, I'm not a shoe guy, but if you're going to want shoes, StockX is the place to go. Why not have something similar here? And, why shouldn't no one's like an eBay right now? Why not a StockX thing where you can get your sports cards?
Yeah, it does feel like the talk at the talk for all these companies when they first come on is like they want to be disruptors, right? They want to disrupt things, and like the sports trading card market feels like it's been ready for disruption for quite a while. This whole, well, you can have the exclusive rights to this and you have the rights to that, and it's all very hush hush and it's secret handshakes and envelopes with money and whatever else, or at least that's externally how it appears. It feels like a market that's been ripe for the picking, and especially with the way that over the last sort of 2 years, the rise in popularity and therefore the rise in value of sports cards and trading cards in general, not just sports cards, but trading cards in general, it really has shone a light on this market. And it's taken a few bright heads to get together and go, right, how can we shake this market up? And I think that's what we're starting to see now.
Yeah, absolutely, it's going to be a big deal there. Although saying that, it's also a big baller move. They've completely devalued Topps.
Well, I know that's the thing, right?
And I'm pretty sure we're going to see Topps being bought out shortly. I talked to a couple of industry people, and they all said the same thing. They said, look, they put all the chips on the table. Topps has nothing to go back on besides their Star Wars stuff there. And they have all the merchandise deals with the various players. I mean, they just got Mantle back. They have a lifetime deal with Mike Trout, I believe. And you're not gonna be able to get that anywhere else there. So no. I guarantee you they'll buy it for less than $1 billion it was valued at, and then still use the Topps brand. Because again, you have collectors worried about Ginter. You have collectors worried about.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's not like baseball cards. It's like, oh yeah, there's like, if you want a baseball card, there's one baseball card and that's it. There's all this like tradition and history and all the brand, different brands and the different, so whether it's Bowman or it's Ginter or it's Gypsy Queen or Inception or Tribute, or like you've got mega high end stuff. You've got fun stuff like Opening Day and Big League. Like, what's going to happen to all these little brands? Because they're all little brands of their own thing, right? So all this intellectual property has got to be worth something. I mean, Fanatics set a bit of a precedent with how they handled the transition from Majestic doing the baseball uniforms to, well, it was originally meant to be Under Armour, and then of course it turned out to be Nike. So for those that don't know, Fanatics are the exclusive distribution partner, if that's the right way of putting it, but they run the stores for the three major American sports. I'm not too sure if they do hockey, but they certainly do NBA and NFL and MLB. So they run their stores for them. So when Majestic, who were a bit of a one-trick pony, all Majestic Athletic really had was baseball, and they did all the baseball uniforms for MLB. And when they lost that, Fanatics swallowed them up. So now when you buy your shed long Seattle Mariners t-shirt that's got the Nike swoosh on it, it's just a Majestic t-shirt that's had a Nike swoosh ironed on it. So it's exactly the same factories, the same logistics, the same people basically that were doing the Majestic stuff. It's now just rebranded and it's Fanatics that's run it all. And I think as a lot of people are saying, indeed Glenn is saying in our comments tonight, Fanatics might indeed be well served to buy Topps out, and then because they're not just paying for the it's all very well and good to strike this deal with the three leagues and with the players unions, but you've got to be able now to print and distribute trading cards. You're not going to go and build all that infrastructure from scratch because that costs a fortune. So the quickest and probably the cheapest way in the long run is just to buy Topps, like everyone is speculating is going to happen, because they've already got that. They've already got the expertise in printing, and they've got the expertise in shitty collation, and they've got You know, they can, like you say, they've got the deals with the players. They own all the names of the products that people want. So like your Bowman and your Heritage and all that kind of stuff. And that's not just going to go away overnight. It might go away over time. You know, Fanatics might thin the herd a little bit. I think, given the amount of baseball releases that there are, maybe they'll slim it down. So they'll slim it down somewhat. But yeah, there's going to be obviously huge repercussions because of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I mean, even if they do start that, they have 4 years to figure out how to make baseball cards.
Yeah,
we don't have to worry about it. So they can slowly bring stuff out, and maybe we'll see something different. I was following the chat on Twitter there, and I think Ryan Fagan said the best. He's one of the sports writers. I think the Cardinals he covers there. He goes, you know what? The one thing I was in the mood about Fanatics taking over, they can do, but the one thing that they really need to do is make cards accessible to kids.
Yeah.
There's got to be a $10 hobby box or a $20 hobby box that kids can buy there. I mean, you can have all the high end cards you want, but if you have to go in and buy a single pack that costs $15,
it's going to die. Yeah,
it's going to die. And I have fond memories of going down with like $2 to my local card shop and buying 4 packs of $88.
good old $88.
$88, yeah. And that's not gonna be there. So I hope they do something right. And for as much as we all hate Fanatics, they actually do a pretty good job. It's just when they screw up, it is a pain in their ass.
Yeah,
they don't do anything right with their customer service on that part. But 99% of the time, you get what you ordered.
Yeah. Again, like you say, to be fair to them, it's gotten better over the last few years as well, especially here in the UK. So, Fanatics UK and in turn MLB Store Europe, which is also owned by Fanatics, that service has gotten significantly better. So Fanatics bought over a fairly big company here in the UK called Kitbag, who at one time were like the go-to place to get your English Premier League jerseys. So it was like, I think they might have been the official shop for your English Premier League jerseys there before the teams took control of all that stuff back. So Kitbag were a pretty big company, and again, like I say, they've got the experience, they've got the logistics, they've got knowledge of the market, they've got customer service. So yeah, what it's going to mean for UK, then that really is a big unknown. I mean, we've got a terrible record of predicting stuff on this show.
If we had a bad average,
all bets are off. Yeah, we're like Mendoza line at best, right? I mean, all bets are off now. But yeah, the potential ramifications to shake the industry up from top to bottom, and it has ramifications for retail, it has ramifications for local card stores, it has ramifications for the big distribution networks that sit behind the infrastructure in the US. As you said yourself, Fanatics appear to be wanting to cut out the middleman, try and reduce costs, all that kind of stuff, and yet and still deliver a better deal for the customers and a better deal for the players whose rights are getting used for these things as well. So, you can't have everything. So there needs to be a squeeze somewhere, and where's the squeeze going to come from? And that's what's going to be interesting to watch, I think, over the next, weeks and months and into years, I guess, before they take the license on full time.
I mean, as I said, everyone says they're squeezing the middleman out there. That could be better for everyone there. It means you don't have to pay 40% more, 50% more for your box of cards.
Yeah, that's it. But then again, somebody has to lose out because of that. So is it going to be the local car store owners? Is it going to be is it going to be the big distributors who supply the local card stores, because they don't buy direct from Topps as it is right now? They're buying from these big distribution agents like Southern Hobby and the like. There's other ones, but I keep forgetting their names.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that all works out, because again, they're going to have to get their supply somewhere. And I mean, if you're a distributor or a local card shop, do you get first dibs? Because I know they've been saying their stock, they don't, they normally do get 100 boxes up and they go, well, I got 10 this time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, allocations are tougher. Yeah. It could be. It could just be one change to the one step less in the logistics, but in the supply chain. Sorry, but. Yeah, like I said, we'll find out. But the pinch has got to come somewhere. And like I say, the one thing that Fanatics don't have is they don't have brick and mortar stores. And if they want to get more product in the hands of people, they can't rely on everyone buying their cards online and waiting 2 days for them to be shipped. You want to, like you say, you want to be able to walk in somewhere and with your $2 or your $5 or your $10 or your $1,000, and physically walk out of a shop with cards on release day. You don't want to be waiting for them to drop through your mail or get nicked off your porch, or so they can't rely 100% on on wholesale, not wholesale, sorry, on internet sales. They are going to have to find a way to get into bricks and mortar stores, and Fanatics don't have brick and mortar stores. So.
Not yet. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll start their own up. They'll have some sort of like Walmart of sports.
Walmart of sports, yeah. Well, again, they could buy someday, right? Sports retailers in the US are sort of are dying. We saw the death of Sports Authority, and we saw Models in the New York area. They went under as well, but they've kind of come back again. But Dick's Sporting Goods is kind of hanging on, but it's like, do they make a side purchase like that? Who knows?
Who knows? Like I said, I mean, it's one of those one shop stops all. Like it says, I much prefer to go to the local place that has baseball only or basketball.
Or specializes, yeah.
Yeah, a specialized shop. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, because again, I'm going for there. I don't need to go and go, oh, you know what? I need some like football leggings, and then go, oh my gosh, and that basketball top I really need there, and I'll pick up some weights. It's just, I get the one-stop shopping there, but I much prefer a more specialized store than going for that kind of stuff there. So
yeah, I mean, of course, the Fanatics already dabble in memorabilia and stuff as well, and you may have researched this. They own one of the memorabilia companies, but I can't remember which one.
I did not get to hit that one, but they did sign a famous Yankee to an exclusive deal 5 days before they announced everything.
Oh, really? Was it Derek Jeter?
No, current Yankee.
A current Yankee? Oh, now you stop putting me on the spot. Does he have COVID or no? Because like that's half the team. Like Judge? I don't know.
Aaron Judge, yeah.
Hey,
he signed an exclusive deal with Fanatics to do all his autograph stuff there. So I wonder if he knew about the deal. I wonder if they talked to him about that.
Well, I mean, yeah, it sounds like the discussions have been going on with the Players Union for a while. And again, one of the things I read today was that the players have been briefed on like the deal and what it means for them and the better deal they're going to get and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's probably been known for a little while, but it's certainly interesting. Yeah, a developing story. Like I said, we could probably sit and discuss the intricacies of it for more than an hour, I would say. And yeah, if nothing else, it's given us some stuff to talk about for the next few weeks.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we won't know, and when they acquire NFL in like 2 hours.
Exactly. Yeah, when they tweet out later tonight. Poor hockey, man. They're not getting a look in. Nobody cares about hockey. That's terrible.
I care about hockey in about a month's time.
Well, yeah, you've already had the draft. You should be like rehearsing the player names and stuff. Do you know the entire Kraken roster?
The Crackers.
That's a terrible, terrible slip. That Kraken.
I call them the Ritz Crackers. I do not. I did see they have a hoodie with one of the players' name on there. I was like, well, do I buy that now? Because I mean, the season hasn't started. There's a good chance he can be traded.
Well, he could be traded. He could be traded, or he could be terrible, or he could be hitting his misses. Because there's too many stories of that happening right now in American sports. But.
Oh, I haven't caught any of that, but yeah, no, I'm going to purchase my Kraken jersey probably tomorrow, or not jersey, hoodie. I'm going for the hoodie. So
outstanding.
Birthday present to myself, and yeah, we're gonna get my Kraken hoodie. So
yeah, we really got to work on like making sure there's a good solid N sound at the end of that word. When we are saying Kraken and not cracker. Don't want to get banned in the States.
Yeah. So, but yeah, well, actually, that's one thing. Fanatics do our NHL stuff, but they supply their own hats. Well, I just can't go there until I get a new era hat.
Yeah, that's kind of grim. It used to be, was it Reebok that had all the, because it was CCM for so long, then Reebok bought CCM. I can't really remember. We need our Canadian contingent to educate us. We need to get one of the Canadians on to talk about this.
They can do that, translate for us in CCM to Reebok to whatever Rouge Sports or something.
Rouge. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can be our hockey experts. So yeah, well, that's the big news then.
Yeah, crazy news. So yeah, I talked to a few people in the industry. I talked to a few of my sports artist friends there. They're all concerned that they're like, I don't know what this means for us. They don't know, again, because like museum, and like that. Like, I don't know if that's the end of my job here, or do I branch out this other stuff there. The Project 70 artists have no idea. Like I said, they all found out the same way we did. So
Yeah, on
I think,
ESPN.
yeah, the ESPN,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so no one really knows, but obviously Fanatics are making a big splash here, and we'll update you guys as we know, or you'll update us as you find out as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Because you guys are super keen. I love it.
yeah. So that's the big news, and that trumped what would it put in any other week would have been the biggest news story to hit trading cards in since the inception of the internet, quite possibly, and then was completely overshadowed by the Topps news. So in the States there is a company called PWCC. They are a card consigner, and they do their own kind of auctions and things like that. But they were also big sellers on eBay. And eBay put an announcement out this week that they have removed PWCC from eBay, and they're no longer allowed to sell because they have found evidence of people associated with them, I think was the exact quote. It might not be staff, because PWCC put a thing out saying, "Oh, our staff wouldn't do that," and it's like, well, eBay didn't say it was your staff; it just said it's people that's associated with you. So they've been kicked out for shill bidding. So shill bidding, if you're not aware, is when if Jason was to list a shed long rookie card for £5, and then I kept bidding it up, so it artificially raised the price for other people who may be interested in a shed long rookie card. Obviously, I have no interest in buying that card, and if I bid it up too high and it's sold to me, we would just cancel the sale with no repercussions and then list it again and still try and force that card. It also adds a higher than average value to the sold, the sales, sorry, on eBay. So it artificially raises the comparative price for those cards as well. It has all kinds of ramifications. Generally very, very frowned upon. It had been talked about. It was, I don't want to say an open secret, but it had been taught. PWCC get mentioned a lot, along with Probstein, for doing this kind of behaviour. Probstein, another large card consigner, because their auctions, for whatever reasons, always seem to sell higher than Joe Blogs could sell a shed long card for on eBay. A PWCC shed long card would always be X percentage higher, sort of anywhere from 5 to 15%. And nobody could really figure out why, and it was always much talked about that they were building up their auctions, and it would appear that eBay have found the evidence to remove them. So to give an idea, I read two different reports giving two different values, so we'll go with somewhere in between. One report said that they did on average $50 million a year on eBay. This is PWCC, and what another report had just last year's earnings alone at $200 million from eBay sales. We're talking not an insignificant amount of money, and of course, eBay take their pound of flesh from that. Obviously, as a business seller, the fees you pay are lower, and I imagine if you're trading that kind of volume, they're probably significantly lower than the 12.9% that you and I would pay if we sold something. But even if it's as low as 5%, 5% on 5% on 200 million is still a lot. Still, I can't do it. I should have done the maths. I don't know. I can't be bothered working it out.
I
it's still a lot.
There. I'm just laughing at Glenn's comments, so I don't want to try to figure out that.
Yeah, Glenn's obviously very happy. Yeah, not alone. Yeah, you're right. They're probably not alone. Glenn's comment was the shill bidders are scum. Good to see PWCC caught and turfed. Unfortunately, they're probably not alone. Like I say, Probstein, who are the other big card concern in the US, has always been a lot of talk about Probstein auctions as well, and they always seem to be higher. And are they or are they not shill bidding?
So, before you go on about that, so obviously those are two big names in the industry, and you would probably go out and actually find their stuff there. So just for the fact of their name alone, you probably get more people using kind of sniper tools to get their stuff there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm glad they're busted for it there, but I mean, if you're going to look out for that shed long rookie, you're going to probably not see if Joe Blow has it. You're going to do a search for it, but then you're more likely to see someone again like those two who've done that before, know what they're doing, and it's they probably waited or they paid for sponsorship on that. So
yeah. The interesting thing about it is those who have been having these, or the groups and the people that have been having these conversations for a while now, for probably for a couple of years, there's been talk of this. They would, but they would never touch a Probstein auction or a PWCC auction because they know that the prices are too high. See,
Right.
this is the thing, and it's like, well, as you know, as soon as you're vaguely connected to the collector groups in the US, and you start seeing this talk, and you start thinking, well, if I see a Probstein auction or if I see a PWCC auction, then I'll just stay away from it. I'll move on and try and find another card because I know that's going to go for higher. So yeah, I mean, PWCC are in the spotlight as it is because they're still being investigated by the FBI over a card trimming scandal from 2019.
Tell me more about this.
Yeah, so there was a gentleman. I'll quickly Google it so I can get his actual name.
Alright.
So basically, PWCC and PSA are being investigated by the FBI over selling trimmed cards. So PSA knowingly accepting trimmed cards and not marking them as trimmed cards, grading them as authentic and original. They were then ending up with PWCC, and PWCC were putting them out into the marketplace again, knowing that they'd been altered. Most of this has stemmed from an investigation that 4 members of the Blowout card forums had done. They had done
Right.
extensive research using images from, like, card images to on almost forensic level to show before and after of cards being adjusted. So the way that it was done was people would buy cards that had been graded quite low, 4s, 5s, stuff like that, crack them out their cases, trim them, and then resubmit them. I will find it. I can't.
I'm assuming you're talking about cigarette cards, like, or
No,
Mickey Mantle
like-
cards, or
Yeah,
no one's trimming the 87 tops. So
no one's trimming that 88 Donruss, right?
yep.
I will find it. Oh gosh, there was one guy. I think his surname was Moser. I'm trying to remember his first name. I think it was Gary Moser, but
That sounds actually not funny. That actually rings a bell. So I think I've read that now that you bring it up there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you're doing high end cards because you, like I said, you're not doing $88 and trying to get that Roberto Alomar rookie to be centered perfectly.
no. There's an aspect of it because they were going for volume as well as, you know, if you can get lots and lots of cards through this process, then lots of incremental wins will still pay off you in the long run. There were some expensive cards that were caught up in this, obviously, but yeah. So there's a lot of speculation that perhaps the information that has ended up with eBay that's led them to remove PWCC has come from this FBI investigation that's still ongoing into the card trimming that was done by this gentleman Moser, who was thrown under the bus by both PSA and PWCC at the time when this first broke in 2019. So yeah, I believe that, well, it's being rumored that the information has made its way to eBay, or information from this investigation has made its way to eBay, and that's what's powered eBay to make this decision.
They must have some pretty damning information. Like
They must
I've
do.
I've reported users, like, you know, about one of my
Yeah,
favorite
you've
ones I
reported
have
people,
there.
yeah.
And he's still selling things on there. So I mean, yeah, they must have some serious there. I was gonna say, so yeah, so I didn't realize that Price Waterhouse Cooper is based in Oregon, and they basically have a card library there,
Yeah, they have a vault service, yeah.
a vault service there. And what I was reading about that is they are looking to open up their own eBay style auction house.
Yeah, so they do already. So you can still go on pwcc.com, I think it is. I shouldn't be advertising them because they're scumbags. And like they do their own auctions because to apex nicely into another news story, the PSA 10 Tom Brady rookie with a 10 autograph. So there's only one of 2 that have got twin 10s. It sold, I think, last night. Did you send to me for just?
It was
under,
yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, just under $2.9 million, and that was on PWCC's own site. That wasn't on eBay because obviously they had other listings removed from eBay. Where's the quote? I need the quote.
Yeah, not bad when you're seeing cards going over $1 million now for something that's fairly modern.
Yeah. Well, the top 10 highest value card sales have all happened in the last 12 months of all time. So that's kind of nuts. So it gives you, again, it gives you an idea on the value of the marketplace right now, which is obviously powering a lot of these moves.
Is our Shohei Ohtani worth $1 million yet?
I don't hope so. 1 million pesos, perhaps.
All right. Tequila and everyone. I won't go there. Yes, but cool.
So yeah, that, like I say, in any other week, that would have been the biggest news ever. This has probably done PWCC a massive favour because nobody's talking about the PWCC thing now because everyone's talking about Topps and everyone's talking about Fanatics. And in a environment like trading cards where your reputation and your name is your life, they might squeak through on this. And any other time they should not have been, because as soon as your name is trashed, then you're trash, and that's the end of it. And there's a pretty good chance they're going to squeak out the other side of this. If they're not allowed to trade on eBay, they're not going to trade on eBay. If Fanatics are going to launch their own StockX style thing where you can go on and sell your cards, and that in turn, your 10% goes to Fanatics, which in turn goes to the players' unions, then they'll just stay away from eBay and they'll just go on a different marketplace. There's another marketplace called Whatnot, which seems to be gathering traction for the trading card community in the US. Perhaps PWCC will appear on there. I don't know too much about Whatnot. I need to research it for a future episode.
We got that. We got a lot of guests coming up. We
Yeah, we do.
I have been networking like a mofo.
Yeah, I've been reaching out to people as well, so we need to make sure we're not speaking to the same people.
Who are you talking to? Surprises. Yeah. No, as I said, we've done a lot of networking lately, and as we prepare for the national next year, so we actually know people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll be out shaking hands and kissing babies. Maybe not kissing the babies in case they've got COVID, but
it's Atlantic City, baby. So yeah, interesting news. It's really kind of an eye opener to see that it's just been shaken up there and see how everything's like that. Does that mean someone like, because I think they also said it still leaves open that other people like Donruss or Panini can still get the rights to the Players Association and still produce cards.
Well, yeah, I mean, we see it. I guess we see it at the minute with baseball, because Panini can, God, put my teeth in. Panini have the MLB PA rights, which allows them to print cards featuring the players. But of course, they have to get handy with the Photoshop, and they have to Photoshop out the team logos, stuff on the jerseys, and they can't put the team names on. So if you get an Aaron Judge card, it just says New York. It doesn't say New York Yankees. It just says New York. And obviously, they color the cards in Yankee colors rather than Mets colors, so you can be reasonably clear on which New York team it is that Aaron Judge plays for. But they can't say specifically it's the Yankees, and they can't say it's it's the same. Well, same for every team. So we see that right now. So yeah, I mean, Topps would be free to negotiate, I guess, with the players' associations. I don't think those are exclusive deals. Perhaps the MLB licensing and the NFL licensing, so to use the team names and whatever else, those are the ones that are traditionally exclusive. But the players' associations, I guess, they could license with more than one. But the way that everything we've seen so far reads is that both these deals are going to be exclusive, and there's not going to be that opportunity now to do not unlicensed cards, but the photoshopped cards with the players and not the teams.
Call them what they are, the Action Bronson cards.
The Action Bronson, yeah, the Photoshop cards, yeah. So we might see that. We might see that happening, but like I said, that only really happens at the minute with baseball, and if Topps are losing it, and if we suspect that Topps are going to get bought out, or they're either going to get bought out or they're going to go under, and they're just not going to exist anymore, which I think would be a real shame, then I don't see an avenue for that to happen. I don't think we'll get any more cards that have the players but not the teams on. I think it'll just be the official releases, and that's it.
As long as it doesn't have the Fanatics logo on it, I'm cool with that.
They could buy the Topps name. I mean, we're saying, well, they're going to buy like Bowman, like buy the names of the series, so like Bowman and Heritage and Ginter and blah 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 and blah blah blah. They could flat out buy the whole lot. They could buy the Topps name as well and still put them out as Topps cards.
But I'm praying they do, because I think Fanatic sounds like a horrible name of brand of cards.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but again, the press releases and stuff that have come out so far have been very carefully worded to say that it's a Fanatics owned company. It's not Fanatics. It's just something that's owned by Fanatics.
Yeah,
So,
they haven't spun it off yet.
no, exactly. Yeah. So the entity, it would appear, hasn't been created yet. I don't know if there's a public library of companies that you can go and look at in the US, like there is in the UK. So in the UK, we have a thing called Companies House, and you can search the name of any company and find out when they were incepted and who their directors are and all that kind of stuff. That's all public record. So if any data scientists are out there and want to go raking through through the US companies list, you might be able to find it.
I believe there is. So yeah. Just look under. What's his name? Josh Luber. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, find him because it looks like he might be the man for the job.
So it was interesting. I caught the interview with Darren Rovell and Ken Golden, and they were saying that Ken had him over at an industry dinner just a few weeks ago at the National. Didn't get a word about it, so it's definitely hush hush. And
yeah, if nothing else, they've done a bloody good job of keeping this under wraps because nobody anticipated this at all.
No, not at all. I mean, I would have thought Players Association would have leaked it or something like that. They've been quiet.
Yeah, it's crazy for something of this magnitude, not to have come out. I mean, but when did it break? Like Saturday it broke? I mean, that's a weird day for it to break. Friday. So maybe it kind of leaked out a little bit, but obviously it's leaked out at a really late stage in all the negotiations. It's not like it's, there's talk that Fanatics want to get involved in trading cards. Like months and months ago. It's like when everything's been really close to conclusion and then suddenly it's popped out. So, yeah, good on them. Good on them for keeping it quiet. Who says you can't keep secrets? I know, right? Who says you can't keep secrets anymore? So yeah, that's the two big stories from the week then. So rest in pieces, Topps. Cheerio, PWCC. And yeah, we shall move on to our regularly scheduled programming. Expect us to be back to both of those stories, obviously, in the coming weeks and months. But yeah, very interesting what the future is going to look like. And like you've already said, we'll sail down the road together and we'll deal with it as it comes up.
Yeah, of course. I said we know people.
We do know people.
we know people now.
we know people now, and these people know just as much as we do at the moment. But that's not to say that they won't find out things quicker than we can in the future. So
absolutely, yes. I was talking to one Topps artist, and we were saying which Reddit thread we were following.
That's it, man. We're on the wrong Discord servers. That's all I found out so far tonight. So yeah, that's the two main stories from the week. So crikey, what a week! But yeah, we shall move on to regular scheduled programming. So Project 70, Jason, how has that been going this week?
So we're almost at the halfway point. We are at card.
You've been saying to me we're almost at the halfway point. You've been saying this for about 6 weeks now that we're nearly at the halfway point.
Okay, so next week is actually the halfway point.
Is it? There we go.
Yeah, next week we reach the halfway point of Project 70.
So how long until they're doing 10 cards a day?
At some point after the 5, I think ever since they went to 4 cards, they've lost out on the money. Again, they would have stuck with 3. I would have bought more cards. Buying 4-pack, I don't care about it. Right? That's 2 cards I don't like. Nothing exciting. I've come down to the fact that Alex Pardee made my card. Got a lot of kudos everywhere for that. Obviously, we won our F dot thing there, and I'm going to drop Gregory Stiff a message to see if he wants to come on the show. I'm sure he just asked Brittany to come along at the same time.
So yeah, we'll get a 2-for on that one, right?
Exactly, 2 for 1 on that one. Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, there's nothing new. There's been no low print runs. It's been really kind of dull. The cards are chugging along. The best one last week was probably the Old Man Allen's Vlad Guerrero Jr. card, which was of him as a kid playing the Expos there, and you obviously put him in a Blue Jays uniform. But that's it. Like nothing exciting there. There's still a few artists that are only put out like 6 cards. So like Blue the Great and Distorted still only have like 6 cards each.
Yeah, I don't think Snoop's done very many, right?
I think Snoop's close to 8 or 9, but yeah. But there's some people who have already put out 11. So
yeah.
Interesting thing I caught on FDOT's Discord is everyone had submitted their players before they started.
Interesting. Well, that leads me nicely into a comment we've just had from Glenn, which is surely someone's got to do a card of Miggy Cabrera and his 500 home runs, which he achieved over the weekend there.
So yeah, again, so he had a open question day, and he said, yeah, everyone had submitted their cards. Everyone went, what the hell? Because everyone was in the hobby complaining about the same guys over and over again. I mean, I know people that are like, oh, another Shohei Ohtani card. Oh, another
Yankee. Another Dodger. Another Yankee.
Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
So I think the players were able to make some changes to it. So I had talked to Sean Witherspoon the other day. He's done all his 20 cards or 19 cards.
Yeah.
And originally it was 18 plus the 2 wrapper packs. And they're letting people change that, so now it's 19 and the wrapper. And again, I think some people are doing their stuff on the fly, and Topps has allowed it. But it was interesting. Like, I didn't realize that with the skis Ohtani, he'd obviously designed the back, and that took some arm twisting to get him to do that, because FDOT said, "Well, I want to do the back now." I said, "Well, that was a one-time thing." So I think.
That's interesting. The ski thing's always been interesting to me, because obviously as part of the card design, but on the back of the card, I guess, he includes the QR code which links to the Spotify playlist. But the Spotify playlist only comes out like the same week as the card. So how, so he's either queued these things up ahead of time, but then he's including some things in his cards that are like quite new and quite current. Like when he did his Eminem Mickey Mantle card, obviously that was heavily inspired by that kid who reviews the cards, who's, again, guys, remembering stuff, because I've forgotten the kid's name.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think it's Brendan or Brandon.
It could be. So he took a lot of input from that kid, and the kid obviously only got prominence at the start of Project 70. So, he's including fairly recent pop culture stuff in his cards, and then, like you say, you've got guys like Sean Witherspoon who are saying, well, all my cards are done and they're in. So it's like, well, is it your level of standing with Topps? Is it, how, I mean, we know that obviously when we had Lauren Taylor on the show, she was working a couple of cards ahead, because we got a sneaky peeky of what was eventually her Tony Gwynn card. But yeah, so it's strange. Maybe it's just down to the artist, and some artists have been like, well, I know everything I want to do, and if you're just doing like a hack Photoshop job, hi Action Bronson, like you can put your 20 cards in like almost immediately, but or because it's live printed as well, it's like, well, how much notice do Topps actually need to print these things? You can submit it digitally and then away you go. And we saw the cock-ups that have come out, which, good old Topps, we were slagging them off, even though we're probably going to miss them eventually. But so the missing accent over the N in Acuna on Lauren Taylor's Acuna card, which was a big storm in a teacup.
So I think it was more to do with like the players that you had to go to license for, like the Josh Gibson card, the Satchel Paige card. So they had to go, okay, these are my 18 people I want. And so anyone current, they all have the license for them already, so it's not a big deal. So you can kind of go, okay, great, I'm going to do a Rafael Devers card. Great, well, we have that license, that's no problem there. But if you're going to go above and beyond, so again,
like Bo Jackson, which was the one that everyone wanted to do, and they had to work to get the license for. And then, like I said, the Mickey Mantle license only came in not halfway through the project, but once the project had started.
What seemed like halfway through the project.
I know, God, as soon as I said that, I was like, we're still not at the
300 cards ago. Yeah, it's same idea there. So you had so if you wanted somebody, you had to go and ask that, so they can negotiate that. I mean, we still don't have a Barry Bonds card. Love him or hate him, there's still not a Barry Bonds card yet.
Not a Barry Bonds card, yeah.
So, I think, and then it's tough, because I think there's like, what, 5 or 6 artists doing Yankees and Mets cards, so there's only so much you can do there. So it's interesting. It was a bit of insight that I hadn't picked up on, and of course we didn't have the the foresight to ask that of Lauren. Have you picked all your players? Have you picked all your cards? I think we're just kind of starstruck. Like, Lauren's on the show.
Lauren's on the show. Yeah, there was a little bit of that. Yeah, plus it's the age-old question. Like, you know, I think every interview that question was asked, and you know the answer was given. It's like, well, you know, I can't tell you anything about the cards that are coming up. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense that Topps would want to get out in front of the licensing issues, or to let artists know that they can or can't have certain players. You know, like Bo Jackson and Bonds and Mickey Mantle and you know, and anything like that. But just because I guess just because they're picking their players, that doesn't mean that they're committing the design to paper or to card or whatever. You know, it just means like, well, I know these 20 players that I'm going to do, or the 19 players that I'm going to do, and then they can obviously riff off that. And well, we've seen obviously Lauren did a dual player card with one of her Dodgers cards.
Bellinger and Corey Seager.
I remembered it was Seager. I couldn't remember who else was on the card.
But they were saying Blake was the best example of that, because again, he did the what's his name, Chris Bryant card, but he did him as a Giant, and so that was just at the trade deadline.
Yeah, okay.
He also knew that you know, he got a Jared Kelenic card for the Mariners right when he got called up. So he was in that. You know, he did the Brett Phillips card after his amazing stint on the mound. Like that there. So you know,
he dropped the Mantle on the day the Mantle deal was released as well.
That was Josh Vides.
Oh, it's Vides. Okay.
So there must have been something in the lines of him asking to do the Mantle and knowing that it was coming up there. I mean, yeah. I imagine Vides has all his cards done. You know, he probably just banged those things out and said, all right, because another one as Gleyber Torres came out today. So
yeah. Well, again, that'll be interesting to see how that progresses over the piece. But yeah, that is interesting that they had to get their players out so far in advance. But like I say, from a licensing kind of standpoint, it makes sense. But considering we're almost 9 months into the project, we're not halfway through yet.
Scary stuff.
They had plenty of time or they would have ended up having plenty of time to figure this stuff out. But
should they go from there?
They should. They absolutely should go from there.
Sorry, that's an inside joke from many years of baseball.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, so it was interesting insight that I watched a lot of interviews with the artists, try to pick up things here and there that I don't know. It's been, you know, some of the artists are obviously in the forefront, like to be interviewed, like the publicity. Other artists you've not even heard of. I mean, I thought Action Bronson would have like promoted his cards more.
Yeah, or if he is, we're not seeing it. But
yeah, so you know, we have to go on with the kind of few people who are out in the forefront. The Blake, the F. Dot, the Alex Pardee, and the Lauren. You know, Chuck Styles, you're seeing more and more up there trying to push his stuff out there.
Yeah, but then you have artists who don't want to do that either, like, you know, the Ermses of the world and stuff, who like they're not
don't do interviews. Yeah,
who just like don't do interviews and stuff, or don't feel the need to, or the want to, or whatever else, you know. And that's perfectly fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But yeah, be cool. We'll keep working. We'll get some more on. We'll see what information we can squeeze out of people. Especially because the further through the project they get, them maybe a bit more inclined not to give a shit if they upset Topps.
You don't have the contract in 3 years. I don't care.
Go give a shit. Yeah, all my cards are on. I don't care. So yeah, well, we'll see. Oh, Glenn's asking, could Topps go bust before Project 70 finishes? Well, I mean, if they stick to three cards a day, then yeah. Even though we're doing 4 cards a day, but.
I mean, Topps' revenues have gone up over the last 2 years, obviously with the pandemic.
They're fine.
And people,
yeah. They're fine. But people aren't going to stop buying baseball cards now and then pick it up again in 2026. They'll be fine.
Project 2026, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. I guess that brings us on to talking of things that you should be buying from Topps. There's a beautiful segue. So new release. So Topps Chrome came out at the back end of last week. There's not too much time to talk about it. It is basically the flagship Topps release, but in pure chrome shiny format. Prices dropped. It actually dropped down just before release. It was trending at about $350 a hobby box, and it came down from there right before release. So that's interesting. That shows you the strength of the checklist. always popular. Topps Chrome, always popular. Everyone loves the shiny shiny. It's the very in thing at the moment, so it's doing well. Not yet appeared on Topps UK. And Allen and Ginter, which we spoke about at some length last week with Donna, obviously, it's not appeared on Topps UK yet either, unless it appeared today, and I missed it because I've been working all day, and I've got about, what have I got at the minute? I've got 68 Facebook notifications that I've not checked yet. So unless it came out today, and there was heaps of chatter in the Topps UK group about it, neither of these releases yet appeared on Topps UK. So we're waiting to see what if Topps make any of those available to us, which would be kind of good if they did. I say Topps Chrome is always really popular, and we've got some new stuff coming up soon as well. A few releases getting delayed into September as well. Big League was supposed to be out this month. It's been pushed back to September. A couple of others have as well. So that'll be interesting. Glenn's asking if there's a date on Heritage High yet. Possibly. I didn't check the release list before I did this. I did the Topps Chrome thing from memory rather than checking the latest news on releases. And yeah, there was the missing Kevin Biggio card from Heritage earlier in the year, which is going to be included in Heritage High, which the OCD guys want, so it completes their Heritage sets from the start of the year.
For the OCD guys, are you putting that in the original set? Or are you putting it in the traded set?
I think
extra card.
Well, it'll depend on the card number, because so Heritage High number starts from the end of Heritage. So
right.
I think it was like card 200 and something. Glenn will tell me in the comments in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they print it with the proper card number on, then yeah, it should go back in the Heritage set.
Order.
Yeah, rather than the high number set. Yeah.
I really hope they do it in the high number set, so this makes everyone mad.
Oh yeah, they could do anything they want now, can't they?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
it would just frustrate people.
Yeah, Glenn's giving you shit in the comments for that. Yeah, that would drive the set collectors bonkers if they put it as a high number thing. But so yeah, that's the news on releases. We're kind of powering through the end here. What have we not talked about yet? We've not talked about Bunt.
Yes, so there was the Jake Cronenworth cycle thing.
Has Jake Cronenworth hit for the cycle? Is that why they picked him?
He did. So I'm kind of expecting the Freddie Freeman hit the cycle like a week later.
Oh,
so
really? Okay.
Maybe we'll get again. You had to log in every 2 hours to open up a pack of cards to see if you got the single, double, triple, or home run. I was able to craft one on my last pack.
Oh, wow. So you finished on the last pack.
I finished in the last pack. So that was kind of nice to see. But Stadium Club is the release from on Friday, and I love it.
I love it as well. Yeah, I really like it.
It's a big set, though. I can see why people will spend money on it. Like, I still have not spent a dime on that. But I'm real close.
Yeah,
I'm real close to
I've spent in-game coins. I've not spent real coins. But yeah, I think between my two accounts, I've got about 5.5 million at the minute, and it could take a bit of a bash as a, like, you know, when you get the weekly challenges of like open 50 packs. Well, rather than open 50 packs of AL Legends, so I can make my 25,000 coin profit on my 50 packs. I was like, oh, maybe I'll just do 50 packs of Stadium Club.
Yeah, exactly.
at $4,000 a pop, and you're like, all right, okay.
So, and these actually mirror the Stadium Club cards that are out, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So, the people who like Stadium Club really like Stadium Club because it's obviously all about the photography, as it has been since its inception. Right? It's all about the photography on the cards. So traditionally, they're borderless. They just look like pictures, look like photographs when you used to send your film away to get your photographs developed.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? Hello, good evening, millennials who are now away asking their parents what the hell I'm talking about.
Yes, where you took a film canister and dropped it off and got picked up a week later. 24 hours if you were paid extra for it.
That's it, yeah. Can you imagine a camera that only took 32 pictures and then had to be disassembled? And then have major parts replaced before you could take more pictures?
Well, you know, I was pretty deep in photography at one point in time, so I did remember going to the dark room and maybe.
I've never developed my own style. I was wanting to. I always wanted to like develop my own, but no, I took it to Boots. The Chemist.
No! So when I was in uni, you've met Jay. So
I met Jay.
Jay was the photographer for the yearbook, and so nice. I used to quite go around with Jake and help him develop his photos because I had done stuff in high school and that. Mostly you kind of just huff the chemicals. No, that's not true at all. But yes, we quite. I got to see a lot of cool parts about Oregon State because of him. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, we got to see a horse get its stomach pumped because there's obviously animal sciences out that way. Yeah,
Wow.
it smelled terrible. Like it was.
Fuck! What a story to finish the podcast on.
we were going to the animal science building. We needed some pictures there, and the doctors there were actually pumping the horse's stomach, and yeah, it was like a big tube down the horse's mouth. And yeah, it made
Well,
for an
yeah,
interesting
I
photo.
mean, just like everyone else, I'm immediately thinking photograph. Yeah, that's a perfect photo opportunity.
Yeah,
Jesus.
so yes. So we got to go all over campus, the places we normally didn't go to get photos on there.
Yeah,
and then help
that's
develop
pretty
the
cool.
film. So yeah, I remember. I was his bitch. I would carry his equipment. But yeah, it was good times. I definitely remember that. So
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, Stadium Club, all about photography. Like the cards this year look really cool. I've developed a bit of a soft spot for the autograph cards from this year's set, and I've sort of been hoovering them up as they've become available in the UK market. Again, with my usual thing of, oh, that's a cool looking signature, I'll pick that up. So player and team not important, just kind of cool looking cards. And yeah,
is that because you actually can read the signature?
well, it's sort of just whatever appeals to my eye, really. Like the last one I bought was I've buried it under a laptop. I'm not going to move my laptop. But rookie pitcher for the Astros, and his second name's Scrub, and I think that's hilarious. So yeah, it's like an MLB player called Scrub. So yeah, that makes me laugh. So that's the reason I bought that, and then a few others there, just because they've either got very cool signatures or yeah, just like I say, just whatever appeals to my eye. And I'll if I see a Yankee one, I'll take a Yankee one just because it's a Yankee one. But so yeah, Stadium Clubs, and you're right, they do look really great on the app as well. Especially if you have a shiny new device and a super high resolution OLED screen, they look really cool. They've used like good high quality images on their digital reproductions. So yeah, it's good. And like I say, it's a fun one to sort of try and work your way through because you need to pick something to focus on and think, all right, okay, I'll do the base set, and then I'm sure as you work your way through opening packs to try and get the base set, you're going to get like, oh look, I've got 30% of like the red ones, so now I'm going to go and find all the reds, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many bits of it we can complete. But yeah, so that's a big old set for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, there was like some guy that had 71 card already. I was like, how much money did you spend?
Oh, it's wild, man. We still need to find one of these like big dog high rollers that play bunt and get them on 1 week. I think that'd be fascinating.
Yeah. That adds to our list of people that we're trying to.
Yeah, that's like a Reddit deep dive to try and find somebody there.
But we're on it. Don't worry.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also, just before, not long ago, again, came out today, a little bit of NFT news as well. So obviously we don't know what the impact on NFTs is going to be for Topps with the announcement that's come out about Fanatics. We don't know if Fanatics are going to be putting any weight behind NFTs. You'd like to think they would be. They're probably going to see value. They're going to see something. They're going to see something there. That's something that'll also come out in the weeks and months ahead, I guess. But yeah, one of the markets, is that right? Am I using the right terminology? Coin markets.
I think it's a market, yeah, marketplace.
Yeah, one of the marketplaces is now listing Wax P.
Yep. I don't know more about it. It was
I've lost the tweet as well. I was hoping you had the tweet.
I do it. So yes, it's Binance.
Binance. There we go. I had
Binance
binary in my
list-
head. I was like, it's not binary. Don't say it.
So, yeah. So that's all I know. Like I said, but and then it went up 120% ever since the announcement.
Since the announcement, yeah, it had a big bump up. Presumably, the attraction of this now is that it's easier to get from Wax P to old money, as it were, so into dollars or into pounds or whatever else. Like I say, that came out sort of halfway through today, and the research has been taken up with PwCC and the whole Topps
thing. Yeah, exactly.
Thing. So we've not looked at it.
We'll
too
cover
much
it
depth,
more later, but yeah, it was like, well, this is crazy. The last week is one of the busiest news weeks. It's gonna be slow the rest of the year.
It's crazy. I know. Like, people say to you, collecting baseball cards, how boring.
Yeah,
Fucking
exactly.
not this week. It's not boring. Jesus.
I know. I was trying to explain to my wife Lisa, just going, Oh man, like we actually have like a news report this time.
Yeah, we've actually got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Yeah, we've sort of
Yeah.
scratched the surface on all the major stories. But yeah, we could have done an hour plus on well on the two major ones for sure. But yeah, it'll be good fodder for future episodes. We'll, like I say, we'll keep working to see what we can find out, and we'll break it all down in future weeks. And like I say, we're looking to get some guests on who are reasonably well connected, maybe give us some info, or not some information, but perhaps call
They're
on
smarter than us.
their, yeah, they're smarter than us. They understand the larger market in the US better than we do. So yeah, it'll be interesting to get their thoughts and their opinions on that as well. So we're working on that. It was a little bit short notice when it kind of broke on Friday to try and get a guest on this week, although I did get close. So yeah, we can look out for that in future weeks. We'll continue to follow this story, obviously, and we'll be talking about it at length in the coming weeks. Either whether it's just the two of us or if we have guests on to discuss it as well.
If you guys see anything in the Twitter sphere, like tag me. I'm usually connected to my phone 24/7. So, so you know,
Yeah,
if you
some of
see
us have to
something
work,
like
which is rough.
yeah, I got about a month left. Of that
Yeah.
a real job thing, yeah, real money thing. But yeah, so if you see anything, let Lily tag us in it or put it in the group. You know, we're always trying to find more information about there. And like I said, you might be following someone else that we didn't know. I mean, I had no idea about the NBA deal, but you know, somebody pointed it out to me. I was like, oh, okay. Didn't I'm a kind of basketball guy. Kind of like my junk wax era stuff.
Yeah. Well,
we talk about Sean Kemp and Gary Payton. I'm all over it, but yeah, I couldn't name three guys in the NBA at the moment. So.
No, I'm kind of with you. So yeah, the king is dead. Long live the king, I guess, is the takeaway from this week's episode. So yeah, lots of news. So yeah, we'll see how these things play out over the next few weeks. But in the meantime, and for this week, we'll say thank you very much for tuning in, especially those of you who watched along live or commenting along. Thank you very much. As always, the show will be available from this Wednesday at 9 p.m. UK as a podcast. And we'll be back again live next Monday at 9 p.m. UK. So, Jason, as always, thanks very much.
Yep, and I'll talk to you soon after this. And happy birthday!
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, now I feel bad because I didn't say happy birthday to you last week. So, happy birthday to you for last week. What an asshole, right? You just threw me under the bus. I love it.
It's all good. I'll talk to you before then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So all right. Thirdsday, and I expect everyone who's watching to wish Graham happy birthday now. So
I know, God, that's it. My DMs will be fire again. All right, perfect. Thanks very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. Listen to the show on Wednesday when it comes out. And of course, we'll see you live next Monday. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Cheers.
These my dance make it hurt.